let's do this. Hello everybody, Daily Kerbal time again. Welcome back. Today we are going to Duna. Not just are we going to Duna, but we are coming back from there too. Today's contract that I have decided to finally put under the completion tab is the bring a vessel back and land it on Kerbin from orbit of Ike. It's part of our exploration mission right here. See, return to Kerbin from orbit of Ike. Something that we got to do, and I wanted to do it with a little bit of flair. Honestly, I've been spending a lot of time thinking about what I could do, because I also picked up a contract to build a new surface outpost on Ike. After having performed those multiple flights carrying ore between Ike and the station, I was like, yeah, I didn't plan that out very well. The station, I mean, the outpost is on the part, obviously, where the ore mining is the most effective, where the ore is the richest, but it's not worth it. It's not worth me carrying something with such a small fuel tanker, and it would be fine if I didn't have to constantly make that very costly orbital inclination maneuver. It just takes way too much time. Actually takes way too much fuel, which is the real problem. So instead, I'm going to build a new base. I'm going to build it on the equator. It's going to take a longer time to mine, but it doesn't matter anyway, because we're just going to have a bigger fuel tanker, a bigger ore tanker carrying stuff up there. It's going to be the next project that I complete. I'm going to perform all of the launches required for it simultaneously, so we don't have to keep rotating the moon over and rotating the Earth to the correct position over and over again. But for today's rotation, for this rotation, I have decided that I just want to get this Explore Ike mission done and over with. So we're going to go to Ike. And then basically the goal of today's mission is to see if we can send a ship out to Duna and bring it back. Shouldn't be difficult. Well, I mean, of course it's going to be difficult. Obviously it will be. And not more difficult than tasks that we've performed in the past. This should be just fine, considering the large amount of experience that we already have with similar space flights. We've gone to Duna many times. We've even brought a probe back from there once. So this should be easy. Considering we already have the infrastructure set up there, we can refuel. We're going to have a full tank to get back to Kerbin. All that we really have to make sure to do is to use our burns efficiently and do the piloting correctly. My hope is that I have some of the fuel left over in these pods to perform the actual launch, the burn to Duna with. Not sure that that's going to happen, but come on, we'll have at least some fuel left, I have a feeling. Yeah. I'm going to be doing today's mission with as few cuts as possible. I will cut out of the most boring things. I don't think I routinely fail to keep episodes like, less than 45 minutes long. But that's fine. Let's see what course we need to plot here. Roughly around this area is where we're going to want it. We're going to want to burn, prograde, and then let's see how we do. Set as target. And yeah, we're pretty far off. So let's move this a bit more over here. That should help. Alright. It's closer. It's definitely closer. See if I wait all the way until here, what happens then? Does that help? Burn becomes more costly. No, that does not help. So there's a sweet spot over here somewhere. You'd think that after having done this a bunch of times I'd already know, but Suppose I can just adjust. I can adjust the burn trajectory, and that'll do fine. Yeah. See, there we go. Okay, that's a good periapsis, and I can bring that closer with a course correction. For now, that much will be fine. It claims that the burn is going to be 31 seconds, and I might actually just have enough fuel left in this to perform the burn without... Like, if I could have the entirety of the actual small spacecraft's fuel supply left for the orbital insertion burn, that would be swell. That'd be great. Okay. Well, nothing left to do but wait for our point. I'm actually going to burn a little bit early, I think, in case we do run out of the fuel in the large tank. Maybe right about now is a good time to start. Go. We gonna make it? We gonna make it on this stage? Nah, we're not gonna make it. Definitely not gonna make it, so I'm gonna burn a little quicker to make sure that the next stage has more time to make it. And there we go. This is the pod that's gonna go out there. I tried taking a space plane out there, but the Whitebird didn't have enough fuel to get there and back. I ended up having to revert that flight. It made it out there, but it never managed to burn enough to get it into orbit. So that flight was a failure. In the end, I was just like, you know what? If I can't land the entire spacecraft, if I have to, if I end up having to just drop a pod into the Earth's atmosphere again, Kerbin's atmosphere again, that's fine. I accept that fate. That's... Uh-oh. That shouldn't be a problem. I'm more worried that I'm going to miss the burn. Yeah, the music stopping all of a sudden made me a little nervous. Anyway. Just make sure we have a periapsis. We'll deal with everything else. I saw one there. That's the exit one. We want to get one. Are we there? Okay, there we go. It's 24. That's actually better than the one we started with, but it's shrinking, actually. That's good. Because we're being, yeah, that's heat from the air particles we're hitting, I think. And we should be fine now, right? Yeah, we're climbing again. So let's keep an eye on that periapsis. It is growing again. The 25 is actually quite good. Yeah, we'll just keep it there. All right, speed up. Okay, we're back in space again. So now we just kind of fly. Goodbye, Kerbin. See you in 3 years. The crew, by the way, consists of a pilot, obviously. And yes, the flight is crewed. All of this, everything that I'm doing, literally, would be a lot easier if I just did it with probes. Take up a lot less weight. And the cheaper ones have very small egos. I just have a soft spot for pilots, and you want to get them experience. The whole point of this is, space exploration isn't really worth much if all that humans themselves are going to do is just sit around on Earth and never go anywhere. Okay, this is the spot right here where I think if I want to make course corrections, I should. Now, I've learned last time that this is basically the orbit that we're going to be on after we exit. And I think what we want is to get it up level with us. So I'm going to just use a maneuver node here. If I burn anti-normal, that should help, right? Yes. Okay. I don't actually need this node. I just needed to know which vector to burn. The disadvantage, obviously, of flying with a less experienced crew, which I didn't actually finish talking about, did I? The basic idea is that I want to I want to utilize this flight to replace some of the crew out there. 4 people on the Ike station are pilots, obviously, because they each got out there by... I needed a pilot on every vessel that went out there. It's just about perfect. And our periapsis is 6 million meters. I don't actually want to switch that, but I do want to switch over to Duna quickly. There we go. Let's see, just to make sure we are ending up on the right side. That's good to know. And actually, if I could use this moment to get in even a little closer, I'm going to quick save here. And I'm going to see if I can, without having a maneuver node out there, just blindly, if I burn toward the radial in vector, that should bring me a bit closer, right? Like if I'm just going to tap, maybe not even use my actual thrusters, just like use a monopropellant burst and see what happens. Yep, it does bring me closer. Sweet. Okay, let's see how close I can get us, because obviously the closer I am, even maybe like in between over there, yeah, the closer I am, the easier it's going to be. Perfect. Look at that. Look at that. I can get right onto a periapsis with Ike. It's exactly what I want. If I do this, like right there, and okay, there we go. Not going to be... Well, actually, I could probably still, complete that to turn the RCS thruster off, and then if I do this, I should have done this like a long time ago. No, okay, back. Look at that. I can even us out. Can bring down our incline. There. Now, obviously, all I need to... No, hang on. Need to turn off the RCS when I'm done with that. Obviously, all I have to do now is kind of burn toward the radial out vector to push us a bit more away. There we go. Got the periapsis back, 45. Still not perfect, but it'll do. This is just about the best vector I've ever planned. And honestly, I didn't plan it. I kind of fumbled around with the controls, but this is neat. I should have been doing this a long time ago. This might have even made it possible for me to get my spaceplane in orbit there. I'll remember this next time. For now, we're going to continue with this flight. Switch our focus back. I wish there was an easier way to switch focus instead of having to cycle through every object. There probably is, and I just cycle through it because I was talking in the meantime. That's fine. I'll go over another round. It's going to come up soon. There we go. Aurora 2, continuing on. Now let's just get ahead with this because this is boring. I've already been recording for 10 minutes and a little more. So, on our docket for today's mission, I'm going to switch out some of the crew there, level everybody up, obviously, as long as we're going to dock with the Ike station. It's got a science facility and everything, and then the next mission is going to be all about settling that equatorial base around Ike. And then the mission after that is going to be land on freaking Duna already. There we go. Okay, I'm going to fly by that. Oh boy, that was quick. Okay, we flew by Duna. And now we're going to fly by Ike. Set the station as our target. Crap, 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 crap. No, 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 no. Oh my goodness. Holy shoot. Are you kidding me? Well, let's hope it's not too late. That was a great way to ruin a perfect flight. I'm not at periapsis anymore, but I should still be able to orbit. No, screw it. I don't feel like messing with this. man, I should have had that. Okay. Apologies for this, everybody, but I want to get this done properly. Let's go back to Duna again. Alright. And we know that it's possible. I just want to turn us to the radial in vector again. That's the out vector. Just get that Ike periapsis. I'm not going to bother evening it out. Just get us there. Alright. This is the monopropellant burn. Okay, it should be right around there. Okay. Periapsis. 43. That's fine. Okay. I'm not even going to bother zooming out of the map anymore. Just bring the spacecraft here. Ooh, this is freaky. Alright, there it comes. Okay. The reason that it sped past it, by the way, though I was mashing the decreased speed key, was because I had the thing selected. Had the Ike station selected in my right mouse button. Anyway, really? This seems a lot slower. Okay. Sped up a bit there. Freaked me out. There we go. It's one periapsis. Alright, don't mess this up. There. Okay, that's perfect. Now let me quickly get my focus back. Focus on Ike is fine, but I'd prefer if we did it around the Aurora. There we go. Now, retrograde. Can turn our CS off. We don't need it. Ship's got enough reaction wheels. Now let's get that orbit established. Set the Ike station as our target. And then go through the motions. Dock. Refuel. My one worry, obviously, is that we, well, it took us a lot of fuel in a stage that doesn't exist anymore to get us to Duna. And I wonder if we can get back home without it. The good news, again, obviously, being that if we don't manage to land in this episode, that's fine, because I can just, that's really periapsis? Looks like periapsis would have been more around there. Oh well. So, yeah, can we successfully land on Kerbin on our way home? Alright, here we go. I can see it bending. Descent node's a bit of a bummer. We'll fix it. We're gonna have plenty of fuel left over. So those little spare fuel tanks that I add on. Okay, that periapsis is a little worrisome. So I'm just gonna... Still fine. Still perfectly fine. Okay. Now we move over here. Right around there. Find our normal vector. That's it, right there. Even us out. That'll do. Prograde. Give us an actual periapsis, please. And we can wait until we get to apoapsis for that. There we go. Now do it. Alright. We'll wait for a single intersect on the far side. There we go. Bring us over here. I can forgive 0.2 degrees. Alright, now once we're here at the intersect, I'm going to hit our retrograde vector. And disregarding the possible huge relative speed difference, I just want an intersect. I don't want to mess around with this. Let's just dock. I'll take it. Mission is going splendidly so far. The thing I'm pondering is, do I actually want to leave all 3 of the crew here? Or would I like to take home... Oh, darn it. Who was my pilot for this? Joe Fraud? I think it was Joe Fraud. No, Joe Fraud was the engineer. Cathford is the pilot. Okay. Now, give us target speed. There we go. Where is the target? Where is the target? Should be... There it is. Okay. So, we want to... We're moving away from it. Why are we moving away from it? That's not... It's not what's supposed to happen. No, 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 no. Don't fight me. Don't fight me on this. Okay. Okay, don't like the fact that that camera just flipped on me. It's fine, though. This is fine. Okay. Slow us down, please. Okay, good. There we go. And I'm just remembering now that there is actually nowhere for me to dock. Oh boy. Okay, let's retract this. Still headed a little too fast. Let's slow us down to a parking speed. Practically 0. There we go. That'll do. Moving a bit away from it is also fine. Now let's switch over here. And then what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make space. So we have a ton of pilots in here. Danzer. You know, we don't even need a pilot. Who am I kidding? It's just... turn lights on so you know this is active. Undock. Switch over to this because it has a probe core in it. This thing can pilot itself just fine. Okay, let's make some space. It's also going to be a good note for me to add docking ports to this in the future. Okay. That should be more than enough space. Okay. Back here. See if I manage to somehow not forget how to dock with a vessel like this. I've been opting for these space plane style vessels recently. Been a while since I used one of these Apollo looking things. I'm doing this mostly visually. I have no information on the nav ball as of yet. Okay, I'm starting to get some now. That thing's gonna block me, isn't it? I'm not gonna be able to see. It's okay. I bumped into it. Darn it, I bumped into it. Okay, back up. Hope I didn't break anything. That's it. Alright. Turn off the RCS and the SAS. And we have a successful docking. Wonderful. Now, let's get some of the fuel that I have refined. Fill her up. I completed the contract for the station, by the way. The contract for our station required that we have 1,000 units of ore on the station, which we did at one point. It is, of course, since then gone because it was turned into fuel. up. Just in general, I think it would be a good idea for me to just have probe cores on literally all of my ships. There's no reason not to. Worst case, I never use them. It's not like I have any trouble with money, you know? Cash is literally not an issue. Okay, so let's start transferring crew. The science crew that we've got here, we've got Bob, one of our most experienced scientists, been with us since the very start, and he brought an assistant with him, Lazor Kerman. Not laser, Lazor. We got two of them working here, and I imagine this is the reason that we weren't able to, it's the reason we weren't able to have data working here is because we didn't actually have a scientist in there. Unlike engineers, you see, I can see why we need scientists. The game makes it clear. Now, level them up. Alright, we got Bob is now level 3, Lazor should also be level 3. Even though this is literally her first day on the job. And now in exchange, let's get... Something's not right here. Anyway. Malber, you get to go home. I'm thinking let's, Cathfred... You want to stay? You want to stay here, Cathfred? Yeah, let's say it's Cathfred's turn. Cathfred takes over command, and then 3 pilots get to go home. Brooke, and that's 2, and then the last is Neil Lorf. All right. So that's the crew that gets to go home. Are we full? We are full on fuel. We're as ready as we're ever going to be. I'm going to quick save here. And we're going to undock. Move this away. I didn't have our SAS on, so the thrusters pushed the pitch a little. That's fine. Switch over to this baby. Let's take that one back in. Danzer is still in here. Yeah. I put her in. Forgot to get her back out. That's fine. We didn't have any more room on the crew anyway for anyone else, so just set that target again. Speed this up. All right. Just a bit out of sync. It's fine though, the magnets will take care of the rest. Click. Alright, Danzer, you get to spend a little more time out here. It's okay though, now that we know that we can do this, well, if we know that we can do this, we're going to start doing it regularly. And that makes her all alone in there while we got the 2 scientists working. That's fine, let's switch back to this baby, and now we're going to have to figure out how to get back home. So, I'm going to bring my sheet up here. And I'm gonna use this handy dandy website once again to so our origin is Ike. Destination is Kerbin. Yeah, that can't be right. You know, let's just do it like this. Duna and Kerbin. Forgive me for this. Okay. So, I'm going to return to our tracking station. let's see what we need here. This is going to take a while again, it looks like, yeah. So what we need, I've done this, I believe, once so far, but we might as well just, you know, reiterate since it's been a while. Kerbin has to be, if Duna's in the 3 o'clock position, Kerbin has to be at the, like, just barely ahead of the 6 o'clock position. Honestly, wish you could move a little faster. But that's fine. So, a couple of things that I still have, you know, yet to do. One of them is finally figuring out how to get space planes to work, because unless I intend to find a way to land a rocket on Duna with enough fuel to get it back up again, then I'm going to have to figure out how to get space planes to work. Alternatively, I could just I could try to mimic a BFR. That's the new SpaceX idea of getting this of getting out to space. It's a rocket larger and more expensive than the Saturn V used to be, but it's supposed to make up for its cost in the sense that it doesn't actually discard any of its stages. I mean, it is a 2-stage rocket, and it does drop one of the stages back to Earth, but it falls with style and lands on its butt. And it lands well on its butt. Okay. So that means they can refuel it, and the fuel it uses, I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's things that can theoretically be manufactured on Mars. So, you know, it's like us. It's like what we're doing. We're manufacturing our own fuel. There. I'm going to assume that's good. And now let's go back to the Aurora, which is now probably way out of position. Yeah, station's nowhere near site anymore. Anyway, I'm going to extend the antenna again just to make sure. Take a crew report, maybe? Yeah, okay. So, let's see what we're doing here. I'm going to assume that this works like the same way that... Can't warp any faster than this. But, well, let's just... We are on the inner side. Ike happens to be on the right side of Duna. So, from here, I'm gonna start a prograde burn, and then let's see what happens. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to happen. So, as I burn forward... Because we're basically burning in the planet's retrograde direction, right? That's why our orbit is shrinking instead of growing. Then I have to set Kerbin as the target. Let's see how good our approach is. It's not bad, but it could stand to be improved. Oh, that's really close. Okay. Now we actually need to speed up a bit. Okay, that looks like we have a periapsis of something. But why is it not showing up? We do have a Kerbin encounter. Is it too? You know what? I'll take it. I'll fix it. I'll fix it later. We'll fix it later. Look at all that stuff. Look at all that stuff that I can actually even just point us towards our maneuver node. I love it. Okay, so I'm gonna turn the engines up to full and off. So we get a calculation. So 1 minute, 36 second burn. Don't need the stage view because there's only one stage left. Let's go ahead and speed up. This means, basically this means that the burn's going to take about 2 minutes because I don't usually go for full burn ever. Right about now is a good time to start burning. saying that it's going to take a lot less time though, so let me go a bit more ahead. 11-second burn, I don't believe that for a second. Yeah, that's what I thought. I actually went, it took too long this time. Provided our periapsis doesn't shrink too much further. Crap, did I? Because we already have a solar orbit already. Just want to make sure I don't. No, we're still good. Okay. I do have to worry about us crashing, and I don't think I quick saved for a while. We do have a lot of fuel left, and that's good. Feeling pleased about that. Yeah, look, we're getting dangerously close to the planet's surface. Well, I have to look. That's fine. We'll be fine. Nice close look of Ike before we depart. There, something like that. Okay, now let's zoom back in and see what the damage is. We are, in fact, not going to crash into the planet. That is a relief to hear. We are going to get pretty dang close to it, though. Look, you could practically reach your hand out. In fact, let's what do we do in EVA, huh? It is worth something. It's worth 56 science. Neat. I feel like one of the crew members could just jump out, grab a surface sample, and come back in. Don't think I could speed any. Oh, I can. Okay. Well, let's just fly by it. Let's do another EVA report, just in case this is a different biome. Southeastern mountain range. Is it going to be the same? It is not the same. We got 100 science out of it. That's good because there's a part that I wanted to unlock. We might even get a third one. Oh, we already have that one. Okay, that's fine. Let's just go now. At this point, all I really care about is completing the contract. So let's zoom on ahead. Say bye-bye to Ike. Bye-bye to Duna, and then just rotate. We don't get caught again by accident. Our periapsis is 2 million. Wow. I don't even need to correct that. I can fix our ascent node a little bit, yeah. Like I could do that. If I wanted to, I would have to do it right about now. So let's try that. What direction do I have to burn here? That's it. Let's try that. Periapsis is shrinking a little too close. Oops, didn't mean to do that. I'm wondering if I could actually just like land it. Like, could I get the 35,000 meter periapsis from here? It'd be hilarious. I also don't actually know if it's easier for me to get a good, like is it easier for me to get into orbit around a planet if I fly close to it? It seems common sense dictates to me that it should be easier. But, you know, ever since this discovery that I can like very, very precariously manipulate, but very, you know, easily manipulate the approach to a planet from halfway there with with these like normal anti-normal burns. This has changed my life. This has given me such plans for going to Kerbin, for going to other planets. Yeah, we are approaching from a completely wrong angle, but don't really think that matters. Periapsis is going to be 133. It's like practically low orbit. We're going to fly under the space station. And you know what? Yes, I could have just done a low periapsis and brought us right home. But hey, that's fine. Yes, it is very easy to get into orbit from here. So you do want to go close to a planet. It's good to know. Now, let's try to bring us in close to home, huh? See how well we can do it. And we're going to do it with plenty of fuel left over. Don't fight me, controls. Alright, there we go. It's converging nicely. Whoop, there we go. Might notice that I'm also burning slightly toward the anti-normal direction. I'm not just trying to bring in our orbit, but I'm also trying to even it out a bit. Curious what our next contract is going to be. Alright, that's enough. Just retrograde burn it now. Let's just finish this. Don't feel like messing around anymore. We're gonna come... No, we're not. Thought we were gonna land pretty close to home, but turns out we won't. Alright, I don't actually have the patience for this. I'm just gonna flip ahead to apoapsis and burn from there. Extremely successful flight. And it's nice to know that we can do this. This means that transferring crew and even supplies to some degree from Kerbin to Duna is going to be an easy endeavor. Extremely easy. And we got a bunch of new leveled up crew members too. Brought home a bunch of pilots. Alright, there we go. And now, motions are the same. We retract this antenna. Now comes the part, obviously, where we find out that I forgot something very essential, like parachutes or something. But nope, I have parachutes. Definitely have parachutes. Did not forget parachutes. Did not forget my final retrograde burn. So, space planes, something that I still need to figure out. Asteroid recovery, also something that we're still going to have to do. We got a ton of those contracts that I keep ignoring because I have no idea how to catch onto an asteroid. I know how to catch onto an asteroid. I don't know how to get into a rendezvous with one. And then there are a couple of things that I'm curious about trying, just for the sake of having tried it. I'm going to cut it and just... Oh, you know what I don't have? I never bothered to put a stack separator on here. I wonder if I even have to. Can I just jettison this shroud? Will that work? No, it won't. Okay, well in that case, let's jettison the heat shields. Stack separator. Ha! There's what I forgot. Oh, but look, the heat shield is actually still staying here with us. Oh, I love it when everything works out. I mean, this is exactly as I planned it, obviously. Stack separator. It's been so long since I built one of these re-entry vehicles that I forgot to build a stack separator. Ugh. Yeah, that's, yeah, anyway, just get this over with. So yeah, another thing that I wanted to kind of figure out. There's obviously I can't do this in the game as any method of transportation, but I want to see if I can't replicate some of those Falcon 9 launches. For those of you who don't know, the Falcon 9 is the SpaceX rocket. It's the one that they launched. They've used it recently to launch a bunch of satellites, and the thing it lands with a remote guidance system. It doesn't use a pilot or anything. It's controlled it's entirely by an onboard computer, and it can land on its rear end with like little lander legs on a barge in the middle of the sea. And they have done that multiple times now. It's the basis of SpaceX's plans for Mars exploration, and I basically want to try it. I want to see if I can do the same thing. If I can use a rocket to launch something up into orbit, and then instead of letting the rocket fall down and crash into the ocean or the surface, I want to just try and see if I can land it. I want to see if I can do that. Come on. There we go. Okay. Speed, fine. That's the heat shield blowing up. It's fine. We're gonna be cruising downwards for a while, for about 200 more meters. We're about like 700 meters above sea level, I think, something like that. And then once this thing touches the ground, we are going to get the contract completion for having brought back a vessel from orbit of Ike. Plop. Yep, and that's the big contract complete. We got a bunch of reputation for it because I have a strategy to work that for us. Flyby of Ike, return from an orbit of Ike. We have done it. I can't wait to start doing that with space planes. Recover vessel. Now, before we close out this episode, and a very successful episode it was, I'd like to take a look and see what new contract offers we have. Because we have a bunch of things that we need to do, like stations and stuff, but there are also parts that I want to unlock. We got... I think Brooke is the first 4-star pilot that we brought back home. We have like at least 2 more, but they're all out around Duna right now. Let's see what we got. We got contract to expand the lunar station. Now that's fine. Let's take a look at some of the higher prestige ones. Map asteroids. Conduct seismic surveys of Ike near the Ike outpost. It's pretty easy since we go to the Ike outpost recently, but this is the one we want. We'll explore Duna. Let you leave a mark on Duna that isn't a smoldering crater. Head there and plant a flag. Alright, so we got a flag planting. Walk on the surface of Duna. I mean, this is where I was headed anyway, so there's no reason not to take that one. Science data from the surface of Ike. We have a station there, so we might as well. Flag on Minmus maps and what we have that's active. What we have that's active, surface outpost on Ike. This is what I want to put on the equator. We have the flag on Duna, and that basically overlaps with this one. And then we have science data. Okay, well, this is enough to keep us occupied. Again, it's not like we're wanting for money, right? So the next time, I'm going to fiddle around with a concept of an Ike base, an equatorial Ike base, something of a brand new design. And that is what we shall be doing next episode. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I will see you next time.